Have you ever felt like your dog is just watching you? When your dog locks eyes with you, it's not just passing the time. It's actually trying to communicate in its own special way. Behind that intense stare, there are all kinds of messages they could be sending your way. Let's dive into the reasons your dog might be watching you. Trust me, you'll love the last one. Number 1, it's reading your body language. Believe it or not, dogs are absolute pros at picking up on our emotions and figuring out what we're about to do. So, when you catch your dog watching you, it's likely trying to predict your next move. This is especially true if you're about to do something that involves them, like grabbing the leash for a walk or heading to the kitchen for their meal. Since dogs don't have a daily schedule like we do, they rely on us to clue them in on what's coming next. But they're not just waiting for the obvious stuff. They also pick up on subtle cues. A change in your facial expression, or even your posture, can signal to them that something's about to happen. For example, if they see you reaching for your shoes, they're probably thinking, "Oh, it's walk time." And depending on which shoes you put on, they'll know if it's a long walk or just a quick outing. Over time, dogs get really good at connecting our gestures with activities that involve them, like eating, playing, or heading outside. So, while we don't share the same verbal language, your dog's eyes are always reading your body language to figure out what's next. Hang tight, there are even more reasons coming up. Number 2, they want your food. Let's be real. If you're enjoying a meal and your dog can't stop staring at you, it's probably asking for food. This is super common, especially if you've given in before and shared a bite from the table. Dogs remember those moments, and they're hoping for a repeat performance. If you've ever given them a treat while you're eating, they've learned that staring food. So now they're putting those puppy dog eyes to work. To avoid turning this into a regular thing, it's best not to give in. But if your dog's really persistent and you need some peace while you eat, try feeding them their own meal before you sit down, or keep them busy with an interactive toy. That way, both of you can enjoy your meals without the staring contest. Number 3, they want something else. Now, we've covered that your dog might be staring at you for food, but what if it's trying to ask for something else? Those big pleading eyes could be saying more than you think. Maybe your dog's thirsty and its water bowl is empty, or perhaps its favorite toy got stuck under the couch and they need your help. Or they might really need to go outside. When you see that intense gaze, try getting up and following them. They'll usually lead you right to the problem. If they head to the door or the water bowl, you'll know exactly what they need. In some cases, like when they urgently need to go outside, it's important to pay attention and act quickly. This nonverbal communication is key to understanding what your furry friend is trying to tell you, and it'll help you respond to their needs more easily. Found this video helpful? Join our learning squad by subscribing and giving us a thumbs up. It supports our channel and keeps you updated with all our latest educational videos. Number 4, they're guarding something. We've talked about several reasons your dog might be staring at you, but here's one you might not expect. They could be guarding something. In the wild, wolves, our dog's ancestors, use staring as a sign of threat. Some dogs still have this instinct and will use a hard, intense stare to protect things they see as valuable, like food, toys, or even their favorite spot. If you notice your dog giving you that fixed, almost rigid stare, especially when they're near something important to them, they're likely in protection mode. In these moments, it's best not to challenge the stare or try to take whatever they're guarding. Doing so could lead to an aggressive reaction, and nobody wants that. If this kind of behavior happens a lot, it might be time to work with a canine behavior specialist. They can help you figure out what's going on and show you how to safely handle these moments when your dog is guarding their resources. Number 5, they're in pain. If your dog is giving you that intense stare but also seems a little off, maybe they're whining, moving slower than usual, or just looking really tired, it could be something more serious. Sometimes that deep, focused look isn't about asking for food or attention. It's their way of telling you they're in pain or feeling uncomfortable. Dogs can't speak to us directly, so they often use their body language and eyes to communicate when something isn't right. One big clue to watch for is if their eyes look particularly glassy or unfocused. That's often a sign that something's wrong. They might also show other signs, like avoiding certain movements, struggling to get comfortable, or even a lack of interest in their favorite activities. In moments like this, the best thing you can do is take them to the vet as soon as possible. Your dog might be trying to tell you that they're not feeling well and need some help. Don't brush off that look. They're counting on you to notice when they're not themselves. Pain in dogs can come from all sorts of things, like joint issues, stomach discomfort, or even something more serious like an injury or illness. Sometimes dogs will try to hide their pain, so by the time they're staring at you with those pleading eyes, it's usually because they can't hide it anymore. It's important to trust your instincts as a pet owner. If your dog is acting out of the ordinary or seems off in any way, don't hesitate to call your vet and get them checked out. Even if it turns out to be nothing major, it's always better to be safe than sorry. After all, your dog depends on you to keep them healthy and happy. Number 6, they're listening intently. This next reason is not only practical, but also pretty adorable. It's when your dog tilts their head while staring at you. You know what I'm talking about, that cute head tilt look. But did you know there's more to it than just being cute? When your dog tilts their head, they're actually trying to listen better. Dogs' directional hearing isn't as sharp as ours, so they adjust the position of their ears to better pick up sounds and figure out where they're coming from. You'll probably notice this more when you say words they recognize, like walk or treat. In fact, a study published in Animal Cognition found that dogs tilt their heads when they hear familiar words or phrases, especially ones they associate with something they enjoy, like their favorite toy or going for a car ride. It's not just a cute gesture. They're really focusing and trying to understand what you're saying. So the next time your dog gives you that head tilt look, know that they're not just being adorable. They're really trying to listen and figure out what's going on. It's their way of concentrating hard and showing they care about what you're saying. Number 7, it's a sign of affection. Believe it or not, when your dog stares at you, it could be a sweet display of affection. Just like we look at the people we love to feel closer to them, dogs do the same thing with us. A study from Japan actually found that when dogs and their owners gaze into each other's eyes, both of them get a boost of oxytocin, also known as the love hormone. It's kind of like the bond between a parent and child. Along with that loving stare, your dog might also show other signs of affection, like wagging its tail happily, relaxing its posture, or even giving you a little smile. You might even notice its tongue hanging out slightly, a signal of pure relaxation and happiness. All these signs mean your dog isn't just comfortable with you, it absolutely adores you and feels totally safe by your side. So next time your dog gives you that deep, loving look, remember, it's not asking for anything. It's simply showing you how much it loves and trusts you. That's a gaze you should really cherish. As you can see, there are a lot of different reasons your dog might be staring at you. Pay attention to other cues, like body posture, muscle tension, or ear position. By tuning into these signals, you can figure out what's going on in their mind and get to know your furry friend even better every day. Now here's the fun part. Keep the learning going. I've got another video that dives into what your dog's sleeping position says about how they're feeling. You'll be amazed at how much you can tell just by the way your dog curls up for a nap. Go ahead and tap that image on the screen to check it out. Trust me, it's packed with cool info you won't want to miss. So click now and let's keep uncovering all the ways your dog communicates with you, even while they're fast asleep.